Okay, welcome back to another mini lesson. Today we're going to explore one of the most powerful dimensions of coaching, that is intuition and deep listening. Intuition and deep listening. And again, we're going to do this in 10 minutes or less, so I'm going to talk fast. Grab notes, grab pen and paper, take notes. You've learned structure, you've learned tools, you've learned language patterns. Now it's time to blend those skills with the quiet, intuitive awareness that helps you feel what's really happening for your clients. Here's the key. Intuition is your connection to truth beneath words. Now, intuition is the ability to perceive insight beyond logic. It's not guessing, it's recognizing subtle, emotional, and energetic cues. I believe in the natural, you can do this with those subtle, again, emotional, energetic cues, micro expressions, looking at body language. I believe in the spiritual side. I believe you can receive intuition from your Creator, from the Spirit of God. So, whether you are a believer or in Christ or not, this information is going to be very valuable for you. So, every client, I want you to recognize this, every client is communicating to you on multiple levels. The words, what they say, the energy, how they say it, and then of course the intention, why they say it. So write that down, words, energy, and intention. And inner circle coaching, intuition complements your analytical mind, doesn't replace it. So you're going to use structure to guide the session, intuition to sense where the breakthrough or the next breakthrough lives. So there's 3 levels of listening. There's internal. Write these down. Internal. That's focused on self. And internal listening means we're focused on what I'm going to say next. I heard part of what you said, but what am I going to say next? That is least effective in coaching, least effective in life. Then there's focused listening. That means I'm fully focused on the client's words and emotions. Okay, that's more like active listening. I'm truly listening. So, focused or active listening. And third is global listening. This is sensing the whole field, the tone, the pauses, the shifts in energy, the space between words, because that's where intuition lives. When a client says, "I'm fine," or maybe your spouse says, "I'm fine," but their tone, posture, and pause tells a different story. Well, that's intuition speaking. Now, how do we develop the awareness of intuition? This is going to be really important. I want you to recognize how to use silence as a tool. Did you feel that silence there? So when a client speaks, pause. Literally count. In the beginning, I did this. I actually would count inside of my mind. Now I've kind of, been able to implement it without counting, but count to 3. So when a client finishes talking, okay, and so at 3 seconds, let the silence reveal what's underneath. Because once they finish speaking, a lot of times people speak and then their face changes. They speak and then their body language changes. They speak and then they're looking at you, and if there's a silence there, a lot of times they'll give more information or they'll show it in their body. So the silence reveals what's underneath. Now, notice sensations in your own body during a session. Do you feel tension? Do you feel warmth? Often your body will mirror their client's energy. Let me say that again. Now, and it doesn't have to be, this isn't woo-woo energy, okay? Yes, there's something about our energy. If you've ever walked into a room and thought, something's up here. The atmosphere is not good. But there's also the ability for the mirror neurons to pick up something that maybe you didn't hear or see consciously, but the mirror neurons picked it up unconsciously. So often your body will mirror what their energy is expressing. Then there's curiosity over certainty. Instead of assuming, ask questions. I noticed your voice softened just now. I noticed that you got a little bit quieter. Like, what happened there? Or, hey, something in your energy just shifted a little bit. What are you feeling? So, instead of being certain, be curious and allow them to share. And then, here's another one. Trusting the first whisper. What that means is the first intuitive thought or feeling that arises is usually correct. Not always, but usually. Doubt often comes when the rational mind tries to analyze it. So, the more you trust your intuition, the louder it will become. So, and this goes back to coaching. Great coaching is structured intuition. Use frameworks like meta models, logical levels, etc. to provide clarity. But use intuition to know when to go deeper, when to pause, and what questions to ask next. Think of it as a dance. The technique is your choreography. The intuition is your rhythm. So, I'm going to give you some assignments, okay? I want to do a 3 minutes silence drill. 3 minutes. It means to spend 3 minutes in silence before coaching. Before you're coaching your next client, spend 3 minutes. If you have an 11 o'clock call, then at 11:57, you're in silence. Notice what emotions or ideas arise in your own life, okay, in your own thoughts. Then after each session, write down what intuitive nudges you felt. Did they prove useful? When you noticed it, did it prove useful for that situation? And then during a session, during a coaching session, notice one subtle shift. Was it their tone, their posture? They pause, and then ask a question about it. Say, hey, look, earlier when you said that, I noticed something. Change. And I've done this a lot in sales. When someone is telling me something in the discovery phase of a conversation, I'll notice maybe their energy picks up, their physiology changes, something. I'll say, hey, earlier when I asked you about that, I noticed like your energy picked up, your voice picked up. I noticed, and I tell them what I noticed. I'm very clear, very transparent. Like I noticed like a level of energy there or excitement I didn't notice earlier. Tell me what's going on there. Talk to me about that. Very useful in persuasion, but extremely useful in coaching. So understand this. Coaching isn't just about the tools. That's why you can't just go buy a book of 500 coaching questions and expect to be a great coach. It's about connection. And when you master intuitive listening, you become the mirror to help clients hear their own inner wisdom and decide where they need to go next. Now, next week, we'll jump into advanced questioning, how to craft questions that spark deep self-discovery and insight. So, if this is your first time here, click that like button, click that share button, and I'll see you on the other side.